Welcome to the City of Douglas Mayor's Youth Council meeting. This will serve as our regular meeting for October 17, 2019. We will come to order. I would like to introduce Miss Anicia Spate from the Great Destiny International Ministries to come and do our invocation.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Like you said, I am Anissa Spate from Greater Destiny. And first, I'd like to start off by saying thank you for allowing me to do this today. And I'll start off with a scripture. I'm reading Proverbs 16:3. Put God in charge of your work, then what you plan will take place. So I encourage you as a council to put God in the front of what you do, and whatever you want will take place. Can you bow your heads with me and pray? Lord, I thank you for what you've done in allowing us to be here today and get here safely. Lord, I ask you that you give the council wisdom and insight so they can make the right decisions, God. Lord, I ask you to bless this community, and Lord, we will in return praise you for what you've done, God. We thank you, we praise you for all you've done, are going to do. It's in your matchless name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I would now like to welcome the ambitious young men to come and welcome and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
We also have the Any Fly Girl participants.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. I would like to make an motion to approve the agenda for September 19, 2019.
Candace Space first this motion.
I, Tari Wilson, second this motion.
This motion has been seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, I would like to welcome Miss Gail Smith to come and speak with us about the breast cancer awareness.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Gail Smith Carr. I grew up in Jacksonville, Georgia. The oldest of 3 siblings. I'm married to Thomas Demetrius Carr. I have 2 children, Sharika and Taja, and 6 grandchildren. I'm a letter carrier for the United States Postal Service for 29.5 years. So in 2014, I had a major back surgery. And while still recovering from my back surgery, I was diagnosed with breast cancer January the 30th of 2015. I'm going to back up and tell you how it all began. In December, I did my checkup and my mammogram. And through that, it was discovered that they saw something that looked suspicious. So they recommended that I go and follow up with a specialist who performed a biopsy. And after the biopsy, I was told that it was breast cancer. So in December, before all of this, I remember sitting at home one night by myself, and I heard that you would celebrate your life, your birthday, all year. And I had no idea what that meant. So I'm celebrating, and I'm thinking because June of 2015, I was to turn 50 years old. So I had big plans. Jamaica was first. So as I went to my doctor, and after the biopsy was done, and he told me just plan for a whole year of doctor visits. So, and I told him then that I wanted the best of care. I wanted to care like if you was taking care of a Mercedes Benz. So he's like, I drive a Mercedes. So after going home that night, I was sitting and taking a shower because my sisters, my daughters, they all got questions. They wanted to know like everything, explain to them what this meant, what was this, what was that, why are you doing this? So I was on the internet and I came across the Cancer Treatment Center of America that's in Noonan, Georgia. So I got on and we was chatting and I went over everything, and she like, do you mind if I call you? And it was like 10 o'clock at night. I like, sure. So we talked and she said, let me look at your insurance coverage and tomorrow we will get back with you. So the next day it was like, boom, we want you to come up to the Cancer Treatment Center of America. So that's where my sister Georgina and I went. And I was sitting and I was talking and telling them, I said, well, when I'm supposed to celebrate my birthday all year. And then she said, do you remember what street you came in on? And I thought, celebrate life. And I'm like, wow, that was confirmation to me that everything was okay. And so I would walk around and people would ask me about it, and I would talk and I'm smiling and telling my story. And it was like, how? But I like, God, he's already showed me that he's got me. So why should I be worried? So I had my port put in. I went and I started my chemo. They said when you do your chemo, within 2 weeks, you will lose your hair. So my sister, they're like, go ahead, cut your hair off. Go ahead, why are you going through this? Why are you doing this to yourself? But as I looked in that mirror, I saw something different. I said, as long as I can look in that mirror and I see this face, I know that I'm here. And that's all that matters. The hair, it doesn't matter. That will come back. My youngest daughter, she was crying. She's like, Mama, you're going to lose your hair. I said, well, which do you want? I am fighting for my life. I am trying to stay here as long as I can with you all. So don't worry about the hair. So we went on and I went through my chemo from February, and I was supposed to finish on my 50th birthday, June 6th of 2015. Now how ironic is that? 2 days before my 50th birthday, after finishing chemo, I had to do a breast MRI, and it was determined after looking over that I could not have a lumpectomy. I would have to have a mastectomy. So I was devastated because I had gone from January to June thinking one thing, and then to discover that I was going to have to make that decision, a decision that was really, really hard. And I remember when, after being told, I called immediately my sister Georgina, and we both broke and cried and prayed, and I went through that surgery in July of 2015, radiation in September for 5 weeks, and after that I was just follow-ups. Last August I went back for my checkup, normal checkup, and she asked like what's going on, any changes, and I said a little shortness of breath. So they said, well, let's just do another MRI to be on the safe side, to make sure that cancer has not returned. I did not want to do it, but I did. So they said after that they saw a nodule on my lungs, but let's just watch it to see if it grows. So in December I had another scan, and that scan said it had grown a little. So they advised me, let's go in and take that out just to see what it is. It's no hurry, so we planned it. So January 4th, 2019 of this year, I had another surgery where they went into my lungs and they did a cut like a pie and took that out. They told my daughter Sharika that was with me that it was breast cancer. Anytime that you have cancer that goes to and travel to another part of your body, it's stage 4. it's metastasized. So she told me, and I'm like, okay. So my doctor went in and he said, but I have good news. He said that it was only just one place. You don't have cancer. We took it out. It wasn't in your margins. But my oncologist, she recommended that I do chemo again. So February this year, I started chemo again. And she was going over it and she was telling me the 2 different chemos that I could choose to take. She says, do you have any questions? And I said, yes. I said, you named 2 different chemos. If I was your daughter or your sister, which one would you recommend? She said, great question. She said, the second one. I said, well, the second one I'll do. I said, now look, I've got a trip planned to New Orleans. I got to go. I got to be on this trip. She said, we want you to go. Would you believe that it was planned that my chemo fell on the very following Monday after we got back from New Orleans? So I was able to go to that. It's different, all of this, but my faith and hope in God is what has gotten me through this. I always said my sister Georgina had the strength, but it's like I found strength that I didn't know that I had. And for my family, they was very supportive. My daughter Sharika is like, this last time, every treatment she had to go. I like, you don't have to go. But she insisted that they go. So I've had the support of my family all the time. And I want to encourage you all that you can do all things through Christ, which strengthens you. Just believe and keep the faith and hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gull, for coming to speak with us. I would like to welcome Mr. Roger Goddard to speak with us about the Clean Indoor Air Ordinance.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Like I said, I'm Roger Goddard. I'm the City Marshal for the City of Douglas. I'm here to bring for you a recommendation where we're proposing to amend the city ordinance dealing with Clean Indoor Air Act, which is basically dealing with smoking and using vape products. Currently in the City of Douglas, unless you're a Class 3 alcohol establishment, which is a bar, can you or in a vape or smoke shop, can you legally smoke? The current ordinance says that if you serve food in these Class 3 establishments or in the vape shops, you cannot smoke. We have one restaurant owner in town that wants to change the restaurant into more of a bar atmosphere, but still serve food. She said she's being hindered by her customers that's wanting to be in there to smoke, but they're not coming because they can't smoke. She wants to try to see if this will help increase her business. So she's asked for us to amend our ordinance to allow smoking in a Class 3 establishment. State law's Clean Indoor Air Act says that you can smoke in a Class 3 establishment if you serve food, but you have to limit your patrons where they are 18 years of older that go into the establishment. The city ordinance dealing with people under 21 people under 21 cannot go into a bar inside the City of Douglas. So therefore, in the ordinance that we're proposing to change is allow the smoking in her bar / restaurant, but she cannot allow anybody under the age of 21 inside the restaurant. So when you look at a lot of the smoking laws, as you know, it's actually illegal for parents to smoke in a car, you know, with the children inside the car. I believe under the age, under the age of 16, 13. But at the same time, trying to help our business models move forward, we're looking at changing the ordinance. So I'm here to get y'all's recommendation to see what y'all believe in and think.
have a question for you. So if this ordinance were to change, it would affect every establishment, am I correct? Every level 3? Or say,
It could affect every level 3, class 3 establishment. But the establishment still has the right to say, we don't want smoking in our business.
okay.
So it is not that we're pushing it, it's the owner's choice whether they allow it or not.
Okay.
So just like if you go to Ruby Tuesdays, they still have the right to say, no, we don't want to allow smoking.
Okay.
Madam Mayor, there's no comments from me.
No comments.
No comments. Since there's no further,
Excuse me. So like, for this particular restaurant, is there like another part that's sealed off, or would that still, like, would it be allowed for another part to be sealed off?
She's requesting to have a separate room where smoking is allowed, and it has to have its own ventilation system and its own air conditioning system for this to move forward. So if you're in there, you don't want to be in a smoking area, there is going to be a smoking area where they can be in there smoking. But it won't be, the ventilation will be totally separate from the regular part.
and so what is kind of the difference between those two ordinances as far as being able to have a separate establishment primarily for smoking, and then it's still being connected to a restaurant that serves food?
The biggest difference is allow the smoking in a separate area where as you deal with a lot of bars, you have smoking goes along with alcoholic drinking.
Yeah.
And, if you got somebody that's down there, wants to watch a football game, and have a couple of drinks and have some chicken wings, smoke their cigars, they'll have a space where they'll be able to do it.
Okay.
And still get together, they'll still be separated by the non-smoking side, but they still have the same opportunity.
Okay. That was my only concern, just ensuring that it was two separate rooms so
Right.
that the restaurant doesn't become an area where anybody who comes in is influenced by the smell of smoke or the vaping products as well.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I have another comment. Is that within the regulation to have another separate area where it's not around the food and other people, and like they have their own TV, their own everything?
Let's see, with our current ordinance, if you serving food, you cannot have smoking inside the establishment.
But it will be another.
But it'd be a separate room that's totally separated from the other part to allow smoking inside. And like I said, it'd have its own ventilation system, its own air conditioning system. That way it's not carried throughout the building.
Okay. Since there are no further questions, I would like to thank you for your time and for introducing this ordinance to us and speaking to us about it.
No problem.
Okay, thank you. I would now like to welcome Ms. Anitra Williams to come speak to us about recognitions.
Good evening,
Good evening.
and thank you all for coming to support our great today and tomorrow leaders, the Mayor's Youth Council. It's a privilege to come before you to recognize the outstanding job that each of them contribute to this council, as well as I would like to extend and invite anyone that knows a youth person that is excelling in academics, athletically, community service within your organization, church, please let us know. It is a privilege of ours, especially from our mayor, to recognize our youth. We have some youth that are doing some outstanding things, and a lot of times they don't get the recognition because it's overshadowed by some of the negative things that some of the youth are participating in. But we want to take the time to let them know that we see you and we appreciate you. You're being a leader and you're showing others how to lead in our community. So we extend another invite to anyone that know of a positive youth that is excelling to let us know so that we can bring them before the council and recognize them and let their peers know there's some positive people doing some positive things, and they're energized about their community and just serving. So please let myself or Ms. Juanetta know. You can come to the city, or you could give me a call and just or email us and let us know these are the things they're doing and this is the organization. Okay, in doing such, each month we try to recognize not only community youth that are doing positive things, but within our own Mayor's Youth Council family. So each of them now have a month that they're responsible for a meeting. They have to do all the back up work. A lot of people don't have the privilege of knowing all that it takes to make something happen. They just show up in different organizations and wow, this is nice, but they don't see any of the back work. They don't see the contacting people, making sure the agenda is set, who's going to be there, following up with people, etc. So Ms. Juanetta in orientation this year said, hey, give them that experience. The whole objective is to teach them leadership. That's the work behind the curtain, is part of leadership. So this month was Miss Anna Escobar. She has a schedule that you could only admire between her high school career and her college career and her extracurricular activities. She is a busy young lady doing a lot of positive things and a trendsetter in our community. So we wanted to recognize Miss Anna Paulina. I'm sorry, I call her Anna Escobar 4, and it says Member Spotlight from the Mayor's Youth Council, given on this 17th day of October 2019 for your participation in the Douglas Coffee County Teen Court. The City of Douglas appreciates all your hard work. And if Candace and Anna will come forward, so she can present it. Usually the mayor would have presented, but the mayor is not well today. The junior mayor is not well today, so the pro tem had to step up, so she can't present it to herself. So Ms. Candace Pace is going to present it to her. And I'm going to step away so I can take a picture.
You just challenged with
Wonderful, thank you. And also, one of the responsibilities of the person who is in charge of the meeting that month, they also have to identify one of their peers that is doing positive things. So with that, Anna will present her selected person, but as usual, I have a word of encouragement to you all with a quote from Brian Tracy. The best leaders have a high consideration factor. They really care about their people. So as long as you all continue to care about the people you represent, we will do well in the City of Douglas. Okay? So Anna, if you'll present your person you selected for this month.
The Douglas Mayor's Youth Council would like to recognize Ms. Ashley Goldberg on all of her accomplishments in her high school career. Ashley will graduate Coffee High School as an honor graduate and will also graduate South Georgia State College with a double major. Ashley has participated in the school's swim team and cheer team for all 4 years of high school. Ashley is a member of the Pi Theta Kappa at SGSC and has been a member of National Honor Society for 4 years and a member of Student Council for 3 years. Ashley is the founder and president of the American Sign Language Club at Coffee High School. Ashley has over 300 hours of community service and has actively participated in CAP 151 program. Congratulations on all of your accomplishments, and we wish you the best on all of your future endeavors. If you can please join me.
Thank you.
I would like now like to welcome Ms. Caitlin Tanner to speak to us about the November adoption platform. Okay, and so we will continue with Mr. Mike Bazell and Jessica Williams to speak to us about the AIM and Flag Girls events, upcoming events.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
October 23rd, Unity Day, we will be holding a wellness march to fight against bullying on Gaskin. We would love for y'all to come and participate. Yeah.
Basically, Unity Day is October 23rd. The march will start at, well, it'll be directly behind the Colony Bank in the old Atlantic Coast Bank parking lot. We will be led in prayer by AIM at 4:45 for those of you who want to join us. And then at 5 o'clock, we'll start walking down Gaskin, and we'll be escorted by Chief Elrod, the school chief of police. This is from last year's march with Douglas Mayor's Youth Council. We partnered and did it. And basically, we just show up with the posters. We have some new ones this year. If anybody's interested. And it's just basically Unity Day, Wellness March on Gaskin, Together Against Bullying. And I am gonna show you how great I am is an example. You just basically fill in your part after I am. Alright, and then we also will be partnering with AIM on October 26th for a masquerade party. It'll be at the gym at Freshman Campus. It'll be from 7:30 to 10:30 for 6th through 9th grade.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, good evening. Good evening. How y'all doing?
Good evening.
I just come to make a couple announcements. Miss Sharon Glover is having a community youth rally against bullying this Saturday. It was at Roundtree Park, but she moved it to Pleasant Grove, right next to Roundtree, due to the weather. So I encourage y'all to bring a friend to come out. I will be one of the speakers just to speak on why I started my Ambitious Young Men mentoring program and what came about with that. So that will be October the 19th, this Saturday at Pleasant Grove at 10 a.m. So please come out. And then I just want to give regular announcements. I'm still having my mentoring program first Thursday of the month and the fourth Thursday of every month. So please, if you know a young man, you have a young man that need mentoring, please come out. It's at the Douglas Teen Center. It's from 5 to 7. You can contact me through Facebook, or you can email me at aim2018@yahoo.com. And I encourage y'all to come out for the Unity March with the Fly Girls. It's going to be a great event. I think it's important that we get the message out about bullying, because it's getting worse with the young people, depression and things getting to them. So I think it's important that we unify this community. So please come out and bring a friend. All right, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I would like to now hand the floor to Ms. Candace Pace to give us the public information report.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
On October 18th, the Coffee Out Trojans will face Valdosta at the Pink Out game, which is tomorrow at the Jordan Stadium at 7:30 a.m. On October 24th, Passionately Pink Day for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. On October 28th, A chamber power lunch will begin at 12 noon at the Douglas Golf and Country Club, sponsored by BCBS of Georgia. November 2nd is Teen Court at 9 a.m. November 5th, Election Day, at the Central Square Complex from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. For more information, call 912-327-1458. On November 21st is our next Mayor's Youth Council meeting at 6 p.m. And on December 7th, we have the Christmas Parade, in which starts at 6 p.m. and the theme is Christmas Classics. Let me say that again. The theme is Christmas Classics. For more information, please call 384-1873. That is all for our public information report.
Thank you. I would now like to welcome Ms. Caitlin Tanner from the to speak to us about the November adoption platform.
I think she just drove up, so if you go ahead with your media report and then we'll.
Okay. I would just like to remind everyone to please follow us on Instagram at Douglas NYC and on Facebook at Douglas Mayor's Youth Council. We always make sure to post things about what the council's doing, what we're taking part in, and just giving you guys updates on things that are going on in the community, such as the Unity March, and just informing you all to keep in contact with the community and stay informed on things that are going on. I would now like to welcome the members into opening comments. We will begin with Mr. Oh, we're good? Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so we would like to welcome Ms. Caitlin Tanner to speak to us about the November adoption platform.
Thank you all for having me back to make an announcement about my work and platform, Option Adoption. I attend CCA here in Douglas and represent Warner Robins area as Miss International City's Outstanding Team. Through this program, I am looking forward to Miss Georgia this June. The reason I am here is to announce that November is Adoption Awareness Month, which promotes the support of adoption in America. This will be a perfect time to bring awareness to adoption and support the families involved. I'm planning 2 fundraisers in November to support a local pastor's family that is matched with a baby coming home with them around February. Adoption is a costly endeavor, averaging around $20,000 in legal health care costs for adoptive families. Every little bit of money raised will help this family meet their goal. The first fundraiser will be Ribbons for Adoption, where I sell these white ribbons to local businesses to show support of families involved in the adoption process. You will see me around town the last week of October offering these pretty ribbons for a donation. So, as businesses take down these beautiful pink ribbons to support breast cancer awareness, these white ribbons can be a marker of the love found in adoption and the importance of family. The second fundraiser will be Bottles for Babies, where I will distribute empty bottles to schools and churches that are interested in participating. People can take the bottles home and then return them to the pickup location, hopefully full of spare change, which I will then donate them to the same family adopting their forever baby in February. 100% of all funds raised through these 2 events in November, will go to the pastor's family. This is such an exciting opportunity to make a difference in the life of a child and create a forever family. If you would like any information on this, please send me an email at, and I'll give you the email in my flyer. Thank you for your time and support.
I would now like to welcome the Mayor's Youth Council into closing comments. I'll start with Ms. Crockett.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
First, I would like to thank Anissa for the great prayer and Ms. Gail for your very inspiring and encouraging words about your survivor. I would like to thank the Fly Girls for coming out and Mr. Mike Murfield and Bishop Tillman and announcing your current events. I will be at the Unity March, and that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I would now like to welcome Mr. Wilson in his closing comments.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I would like to thank everyone for coming out. I would like to thank for the prayer. I would like to thank Ms. Gail for her story and how inspiring it was to fight through anything that God has you throughout. anything you go through. I like to thank Miss Caitlin. She left. I like to thank Mr. Mike and Miss Jessica to talk about ambitious young men and fly girls. And like to thank Mr. Roger, and that's it.
Thank you. I'll now pass it along to Mr. Aids.
I would like to thank everybody for coming, and I want to invite everybody to the football game tomorrow at 7:30. That's all I have.
Oh, I'd like to welcome Ms. Deborah.
I would like to thank everybody for coming out to our meeting. I would also like to thank for everybody that giving out their inspirational messages. And make sure you attend the Unity March coming up this Wednesday for the prevention of bullying. And make sure you go support the churches tomorrow night. Thank you.
Ms. Flores?
Thank you all for coming out tonight to our meeting. As Miss Jessica said, the Fly Girls are partnering with AIM and hosting the masquerade party. If you have any 6th through 9th graders, it is an awesome way for them to have a little fun and enjoy themselves. Tomorrow is not just the game, but it is also senior nights. So hopefully y'all go over and, support the Trojans and our seniors. That's all.
Okay, Ms. Pace?
I would like to thank you all for coming, all of our guests, and especially all of our speakers and their work for coming and supporting the Mayor's Youth Council on today. And I would like to personally invite you all to CHS production of Wiley and the Hairy Man. Tickets will be on sale at CHS at 7 o'clock at the door. That'll be all.
Okay. And I would just like to thank everybody for taking the time to join us. All of our amazing speakers, thank you for coming and speaking with us. This really means a lot to us. Ms. Carr, I would really like to thank you for your inspirational story. I think that it's amazing how, even though you've been affected a lot recently, you still perceive and you still look at the good in life. And I would like to commend you on that and wish you the best of luck. I would like to thank Mr. Mike Bazell and Ms. Jessica Williams. You guys are always here encouraging the youth to take part in the community to make sure that they stay out of any negative things that are going on currently. And I would like to commend you. I would also like to welcome anybody to go join the Masquerade Ball if you're in 6th through 9th grade, and as well as the Unity March. I think that's a great opportunity to really show unity in the community and show that that we're trying to push to help bullying stop being a problem. And I would like to congratulate and thank Miss Ashley Goldberg on all of her accomplishments. She has done so much, and every time I see her, it's truly inspirational to see that people are still perceiving. And every time I see that, she's not only perceiving and accomplishing things at the high school, but she's also doing things at the college. And I wish you the best of luck in life. And those are all the closing comments. Since there is no further business to become before the Junior Mayor Commissioners meeting, may I have a motion to adjourn?
I tell you what's it doing. I tell you which first is the motion.
I actually make second this motion.
Okay. The motion has been second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
We have comments from a new mentoring program. She just would like to announce her program.
Okay. Would you like to join us on the stand, please? Sorry.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Hi, my name is Shawana Polk, and on behalf of the Waycross Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and our president, Michelle Banks, we are extending a new youth program to the Coffee County area, which is called the Delta Gems. This program has already been in place for many years, but it hasn't had a location here in Coffee County. It's primarily been in Waycross. So now we're going to extend that here. We'll have an informational meeting Sunday at 905 South Gaskin at Park Plaza. It's for ages 14 through 18, at-risk young girls. And the primary focus is to push leadership skills, service, scholarship, and sisterhood through many community events and not just here in Coffee County, but abroad as well. We will take young ladies to college visits. We will, anything that the city needs for us to do, youth council. We just want to keep the young children involved. There are a lot of sorority members here in Coffee County, and we're all educators here, and so we also would like other volunteers from the community, but they would have to go through a background check, and the president and vice president will also interview them. But we are looking for more volunteers from the community, and I think this will be a good program here for Coffee County, and we just would like to extend that. Invitation applications, you can pick them up Sunday when you come. We've also given applications to the schools, so they have them at Coffee High, they have them at George Washington Carver freshman campus, so you can pick them up from the counselors, assistant principals, any of them. And we will have an induction on the second Saturday in November. The only criteria is that all applicants would have to give a transcript. There is no minimum GPA, but what we're looking for with the transcript is because we offer tutoring services for free. So they would be able to excel in their academics. We also ask for an essay. The essay would be, the question is, what type of leadership skills do you think that you would need in order to be a productive citizen in your community? And then you would have to fill out the application, and of course the parents would have to give consent. So if this is something that you would like to do, you could definitely come to the informational Saturday at 5 o'clock, Park Plaza, 905 South Gaskin. And thank you.
Thank you for your time. Okay. Since the motion to adjourn has been seconded, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? This motion has been carried. Thank you for joining us in our regular meeting.